Spider-Man movies have always been a banger, and with the release of Brand New Day along the corner, it's the perfect time to look back at the villains that truly made the amazing Spider-Man so unforgettable. From both the good, bad, and ugly, I'm gonna rank them all on this tier list, starting with the GOAT himself, the Green Goblin. Norman Osborn is considered one of the most terrifying villains Spider-Man ever faced. Not only is he really strong and a crazy nutjob, but he also stands as the pillar between Peter and Harry that develops across the entire trilogy. Needless to say, no one could have brought the Green Goblin to life better than William Dafoe. His portrayal of the Goblin was truly spectacular, especially when he comes back in No Way Home. A movie dedicated to the Green Goblin would absolutely crunch those numbers at the box office. Definitely S tier. Doc Ock is still one of the best villains, both in Spider-Man 2 and No Way Home. He is one of the most sympathetic and understandable villain in Spider-Man. Alfred Manila delivered a masterpiece, and I kind of like the fact that Marvel was consistent with his role in No Way Home. Doc Ock was one of those few villains who pushed Peter to his absolute limit. Even till today, the train scene still looks so epic, another easy S tier. Next up, we have Harry Osborn as the new Goblin. And as a villain, Harry was just a confused son trying to avenge his father. Unlike his father, who was a villain for the fun of it, Harry was just reacting to what he thought was the murder of his father by Spider-Man, just as how a normal human would. And him getting the amnesia storyline makes his path even more dynamic. His teaming up with Peter after he understood what actually transpired between Peter and his dad in the ending was one of the best comic duo in Hollywood. Easy B tier. Sandman is such a rooted, relatable character. Unlike some villains who went on crime spree because of their own selfish gains, Sandman had a pure motivation of providing for his daughter. I don't know if it's only me or people don't realize how crazy Sandman abilities really are. Till today, that scene in the Collider still slaps hard, but the lore behind him being Uncle Ben murderer just feels so unnecessary. It just felt as if the writers were trying to make us hate him more. But anyways, he's going to A tier, Venom. Personally, I think Topher Grace played the role of the Venom better than anyone. For a mid-2000 movie, Topher played the perfect hater for Peter Parker. Imagine praying to God to take Peter away is next-level hating. And I also liked the idea of him not liking Peter without the mask, which makes more sense why he's Spider-Man arch nemesis after he got fused with the symbiote. Now, this version of the Venom isn't really deep. I honestly still think Tom Hardy did justice to his version of the Venom, while Topher to Venom in Spider-Man 3. Nevertheless, Topher's Venom gets a solid A. The Lizard is one of the goofiest comic villain character in Spider-Man. As Dr. Connor, he lost an arm, and this made him feel incomplete. This led to him experimenting on lizard juice, which helped him regrow his lost arm, but at the cost of his humanity. As a villain, Connor was pretty relatable. He didn't want to be the only human reptilian out there, so he wanted to make sure everyone ended up like him too, which is pretty goofy, but it's something I'll also do if I was in his shoes. I think I'll put him in B tier. Next up is Electro, and everything about him is just ass. First off, he hates Spider-Man because he felt betrayed by him, and also because the voices in his head tells him to. Apart from that, his design is awful. He looks like Dr. Manhattan on a low budget. There are also some things about him that don't really make sense, like how the gap in his teeth suddenly closed off after he got his powers, or how he uses electricity to create like a city map in his head. All in all, I do think he'll make a great superhero, and I also loved the way he was portrayed better in No Way Home. I'll put him in C tier. The Dame DeHaan Green Goblin truly is something. I don't know why they made him look like someone suffering from a parasite infection or something, but his design is just so awful. The kind of look a villain gets, and you definitely know they're not getting a redemption arc. And the whole plot of him trying to get Peter's blood is just so ridiculous. Although he's still the only villain so far that ended the life of a Spider-Man love interest, so that's a plus on his side. All in all, he still ends up in D tier. Rhino also goes to D tier. No arguments about that. Now, Venom in his own movie feels less like a villain and more of a hero. I think the term I'm looking for is anti-villain. And for some reason, I don't understand why this version of the Venom looks so sweaty and unemployed throughout the movie. I do feel Tom Hardy is still one of the best adaptations of the Venom, and his design is still pretty slick, even without the spider logo. Solid A tier. Next up, probably the most hated Spider-Man villain of all time. Mysterio in the MCU just flat out sucks. I'm not sure if it's Jack that sucked at being a good Mysterio or the character itself just sucks. His motivation to being a villain too is just ridiculous. Imagine being a villain because your boss didn't give you proper credits of his work and dismissed him. He's just another lame Iron Man villain, so he's going to D tier. And we've gotten to the end of today's video. If there are some villains I missed, let me know about them and your opinions in the comments.